Welcome back to Bearcats Daily, everybody. As always, I'm your host, Blake Thornton. Appreciate you tuning in today. So, some good news for our UC men's baseball team. There were two more postseason, or season awards, I should say, that were given out to the team. We know Enzo was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year, and he earned All-American. He is going to be joined as an All-American by two of his teammates. Quentin Coates got an All-American bid this year. He is congratulated with those honors. And, of course, Nathan Taylor as well, getting the All-American honors for the University of Cincinnati. Now, these are all players who could have gone out, taken a bunch of money from some other school, but they have all committed to build a program here and be a part of history as UC continues this build. I want to say congratulations to all three of those on their All-American honors and look forward to what the future has to hold for them moving forward here at the University of Cincinnati. Now, as we know with football coming up, one thing that everyone looks forward to is homecoming. And this year, UC is celebrating their 100th homecoming anniversary. That'll be October 23rd of this year. That is the Texas Tech game and a team that may or may not be led by Sorsby, but as of now, it will be. So we got to make sure we just fill that stadium and absolutely make their lives miserable for all the reasons we've discussed earlier this week about that issue. And of course, with homecoming also plays into the fact that we have the Hall of Fame here at UC, the Kelly Athletics Hall of Fame. And they have announced this year that they have a new inductee coming in. Our old friend Bob Huggins, Huggy Bear, is going to be inducted. It was announced that Huggins will be inducted into the Kelly Hall of Fame, Kelly Athletics Hall of Fame for the University of Cincinnati. He is the all-time leading wins coach for the University of Cincinnati men's basketball team. For those of you who did not know, obviously, he was born there from 1989 to 2005, 14 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances, one Final Four, two Elite Eights, and he was the National Coach of the Year in 2001 and 2002. 8 league tournament titles, 10 conference titles. He was inducted. See, this isn't edited, y'all. I promise you that. He was inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2022. He's got 863 career wins all time, 10th amongst coaches in the history of the NCAA men's basketball. 10th all time, 399 wins with 127 losses, well over a 700 record. Congratulations to him. It was an absolute honor and a privilege to not only watch him as I grew up as a coach, both at UC and West Virginia, but also to have met the man on a couple of occasions. A gentleman. I have no ill will, nothing negative to say about Huggy Bear. He will forever have a special place in Cincinnati and, of course, in my life as well. A true gentleman. Congratulations to him, and I just sincerely wish nothing for the best for him in retirement. So we have discussed, though, in terms of basketball, we've gone over Nippert Stadium. We went over the history, some of the things that went in there. We've never really talked about Fifth Third Arena, or as you may know it, the Shoemaker Center. It has changed names a couple times over the years. Now, in 1989, they originally named it the Merle H. Shoemaker Center, and then it was rebranded in 2005 to the Fifth Third Arena, and then obviously it's been upgraded and things like that. So it typically hosts men's and women's basketball and both the volleyball teams. It was constructed in 1989, and until 2004, pretty much remained the same. You know, it's the Shoemaker Center. Nothing really crazy with it over the years. It managed to host some of the best UC basketball teams in the history of the school. It hosted some NCAA tournament games as well during that time. Obviously, we know that they host NIT games there whenever UC's in that typically. So it's seen a lot over the years. It was supposed to open in '88, but there were construction delays that just kept it from going there. It is named after the Ohio Lieutenant Governor. That is who they named it after because he helped secure state funding to build the arena. And they hosted the 1994 Midwest Tournament and the 1998 Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. They did rebrand it in '05 to Fifth Third Arena, and as we know, in 2018, they did begin the renovations of it. And today, it is a modern arena that still holds true that close atmosphere that made it one of the toughest places to play in college basketball, and it was. I was fortunate enough through especially the prime Big East years from like '06 until 2011. I went to probably 10 plus home games a year, and I have to tell you, Even though they may not have won a ton of games against the Big East competition that was the best in the country at that point for college basketball, it was still a tough place to play and teams struggled. The fans are right on top of the court. It's very loud when it's filled. Of course, our student sections on both ends really helped that. One of the best places you can play, and it's actually a fun place to play. I got to play a couple games there myself. It really does feel like that crowd is right on top of you, and you feel that 100% on the court. So, of course, an absolute amazing place to play basketball and one of the more historic arenas. Again, it has been there for college basketball a long time. A lot of history has been made there, and it's seen a lot of great players, both for UC and some of the teams that have come to visit. Have seen a lot of talent come through that building. So wanted to go just, give it flowers to a historic arena that is the Shoemaker Center or Fifth Third Arena, however you call it. I've heard it called both ways. Just like, we have Heritage Bank Arena here in Cincinnati down the river. I still call it US Bank. But we all know what we're talking about. So however you want to call it, Fifth Third Arena, Shoemaker Center, an absolute amazing venue for basketball. And with a new revamped team, a new coach this year, I do expect that arena to be rocking all season long. And it just will be an absolute joy seeing a winning program get back to the heights we know that team can be in that stadium. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of finish off today with our fan question of the day. And this comes from Air Duke 23. And his question is, why is the NCAA, who is a private entity, able to be overruled by a judge in a random court in another state? Duke, I got to be honest with you. I'm not by any means a law professor or to understand how all these things work. I know in today's world, we go through a lot of things where certain judges are just pulled in to do stuff. From my interpretation of it and my research that I try to do before answering this question, I don't think they can. If the NCAA, who they are the governing body of this league, they have their rules and regulations that they wrote out, they were violated. The investigation found him guilty of this. If they don't want him to play, he's not going to play. That is my interpretation of how this is all shaken out. There can be as many injunctions filed. They can go to whatever favorite judge that they have that's going to be favorable to them and try to get this stuff passed. But at the end of the day, the NCAA, it is their league. They have written the guidelines. They have all the enforcement power. If they say that you are not eligible to play in their league, then that is pretty much the case point. The Iowa State quarterback who got busted, who had to finish his playing at a D2 school or NAIA school, he went and did something else. But the ruling that the NCAA has made is that he will be ineligible, regardless of what these injunctions are. How the NCAA will fight that, I don't know. I'm glad that UC doesn't have anything to do with this other than the fact that Sorsby still owes the school $1 million for the unpaid buyout clause in his contract. But in terms of just judges being able to block the ruling, I don't see how it's enforceable. And I think NCAA has every right to do what they want in this situation with their league. It's their rules. I don't think it can be overturned. So while, yes, they put it out that he's filed for and a judge blocked it, he can play, at the end of the day, it is the NCAA's league, and they can do whatever they want with this decision. Whether that be coming in and letting him play or not, that is up to them. It is their league. We've seen it in the past with how they've handled all other rulings. The Ohio State in 2010 with the tattoos. You have the Iowa State quarterback or running back that got busted for gambling and lost his eligibility. The Boston College basketball players. There's been plenty of evidence to show that when they make the ruling, it stays. Now, did they ever go after to find a judge that they could be in favor with to get it passed? No. But it is their league at the end of the day. They can't claim any sort of prejudice. They can't claim any sort of backstabbing. It's strictly, these are the rules and guidelines to play. He violated them. He's no longer eligible to play in our league. There may be some backdoor channels, some bylaws, some fine print that I just don't know as a normal sports fan. I'm not a law professor, but Duke, I hope that'll answer your question, that there's nothing that should prevent the NCAA from exacting what they want for their league. If they say he is ineligible, I don't believe a judge can overturn it. I don't even understand how they got this passed to have an injunction filed to where he would even have a chance at eligibility. I personally don't understand it. And I'm sorry if this isn't exactly completely what y'all are hoping to hear, but there should be nothing holding him back. If the basically black and white, he violated NCAA rules and policies. The punishment for that is that loss of eligibility. You bet on your own team. That's it. It should be cut and dry, but they're of course trying to backdoor it all and find a way to go around a roundabout and get him in. It's just not the case. So we'll have to kind of play that one by ear, Duke. I hope that answers your question. I do appreciate you guys asking questions and putting them in the comments or messaging on Twitter. It really does kind of give us stuff to talk about more on here. And I like the back and forth. I like the interaction from the community that we've built here at Bearcats Daily. So I appreciate everyone tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow for Red Friday. Make sure, remember everyone deployed. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, appreciate y'all joining us.